interface.
Right. Yep.
The UI. Oh, there's Sawhill.
Oh, yeah.
Sawhill over there.
Okay, here we go, guys. Hi, and welcome to the ASUG News Studio. My name is Tom Welgum, and we're broadcasting live from ASUG Annual Conference in Sapphire Now 2015. We all just listened to SAP CEO Bill McDermott's keynote this morning, and it was a great one, filled with a lot of announcements, a lot of interesting information. So just as we did last year, I asked 3 of our outstanding board members to come in here and give us their reaction to the news that we learned today and talk about some of the things they're looking forward to hearing at Annual Conference and some of their biggest takeaways from all the news in the week that will come out. So, to my right is Keith Sturgill. Keith, welcome back to the studio. Great to have you. Keith is the Vice Chairman of ASUG, and he will be doing as part of the keynote speech tonight. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome. To his right is Mark Leclerc. Mark is another board member, and we're delighted to have you in this, making your debut here, Mark.
Thank you, Tom.
Welcome in. And Paul Roach, who never misses an opportunity to get on camera, is back once again. Paul, another board member, our finance chair.
That's right.
Welcome back to the studio, Paul.
Thank you for having me.
So, we heard a lot of things today from Bill this morning. Keith, what was, as a customer, as a CIO of a large company, what was your biggest takeaway?
Yeah, I really like the fact that Bill talked about the value of integration. As SAP moves down to the next generation of technologies, that the integration theme is going to continue. We at Eastman have been a believer in the integrated enterprise since the beginning. We believe it's a competitive advantage for us. So to hear Bill use those words again as SAP moves forward, reassuring to me as a customer, for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, integration is one of those things that never really goes away. So it's always something on your radar, no matter the new app or the new software we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, having visibility to how your business is operating globally at any point in time is huge.
Right.
And that's how we drive competitive advantage. You know, when we make a large acquisition, there's really no debate. We integrate them onto the SAP platform because we believe that visibility drives improvement across every aspect of our business.
Absolutely, great point there. Mark, what was your big takeaway from today?
Yeah, the one thing that stood out pretty clear to me is Bill was very clear to talk about the roadmap in the future, and he asked that that customer base really take the IT and the business along with them to develop that roadmap. And you know, all too often that IT goes on its own or the business will go on its own, and even then we sometimes leave SAP out of that conversation as well.
Right.
And he really wanted to sponsor and support that thought to kind of bring all 3 of them together to help develop that roadmap for the future, and I think that's very key.
And for ASUG as well, do you see as a board member, what is our role in that? I mean, we're going to have an important role to play, do you think, as well?
Yeah, clearly. So we're going to have to help the community understand what the roadmap is, because not all the one shoe fits all. So we got to figure out how to effectively manage that and communicate that, and then help our community continue to go down the road and take the journey with SAP.
Absolutely, because it is a journey.
Can I build on that?
Oh,
just a
sure.
second? You know, I really think it's going to be important that we help our members start to communicate the language of business and help business understand what's possible on the new technology platform. And that's some heavy lifting that we're going to have to do. Absolutely.
And as Bill also talked, you know, the speed of innovation is continuing to accelerate every day. So the digitizing of all of that, everything we do today in business, it's only going to continue to accelerate. So we have to help people with that roadmap. And certainly the members are going to need to get that help from us.
Absolutely, it's a great point. Paul, what was your takeaway?
I was impressed with the focus on deployment options. So Bill talked a lot about any of the new applications coming out, any new systems, Suite for HANA, S4HANA, whatever you want to deploy, having the ability to be on-premise or in the cloud, and whatever flavor of cloud, whether it be public cloud, private cloud, whatever. Specifically for my company, we're in a hybrid environment right now. We've traditionally run everything on-premise, but we've migrated to HANA private cloud. We also use Concur and we use SuccessFactors. So in our environment, we've got a little bit of everything, and the good news that I took away as a customer was around your choice of deployment method isn't going to be driven by SAP. You'll be able to choose what's right for your business, and we'll follow that along. And I think that's a great message. There's a lot of confusion about that and how to do it, and if SAP is going to get behind supporting whatever deployment model you want or a hybrid combination, that support is a good thing for customers.
Well, to get at Keith's point about integration, right? So that's all great, that vision, right? But the integration behind all that, do you see that as in critical for SAP to nail that really for customers?
It really is. So yesterday we were part of the ASUG Executive Exchange, which is a group of IT leaders and business leaders focused on discussions with SAP and around how to get the benefit out of SAP. In that discussion, I'd say that was the hottest topic, to kind of add to what Keith said. Integration was the focus of that group, and as Bill mentioned today, he kind of called it everything being seamless and being simple. That, for us, is around integration. So in my world, it's not as much around the user interface right now. Our biggest challenge is around seamless, simple integration and getting the public Concur application and SuccessFactors to talk to my hosted HANA, ECC, BW, as well as my on-prem other platforms like MDM, Portal, et cetera. So getting that integration to work and adding the complexity of some of it being in the cloud, some of it being in private cloud, and some of it being on-prem, I think that's a key thing going forward.
Absolutely. So one of the other things I picked up on Bill was saying, he said, we want to cast complexity to the curb. In SAP, that is a really huge theme for them, getting rid of the complexity. Keith, I mean, do you deal with that kind of complexity, and or are you targeting that? I'm just wondering, because we hear about that complexity a lot. Every ad from SAP comes out.
Yeah. So yeah, SAP adds value to my business every minute of every day in every region of the world. But I can tell you, it's not simple today. And I think it's going to be a journey to get us to simple. And it's not about being naive and simple. It's about doing some really sophisticated things in a way that is easy to consume and easy to use. And we're going to be talking a lot more about that idea in the keynote this afternoon.
That is great. So everyone tune in definitely for Keith's keynote with Jeff Scott, our CEO, and also Michael Strahan as well. We'll be doing some keynote time. So I'll leave it with you two guys. What is your, thinking about the rest of this week, what do you want to leave here on Thursday or Friday with, having really gotten to think about or know or talk to some people about? Mark, what's your big thing you want to get to know this week?
Yeah, Tom, for me, it's going to be, trying to understand the roadmap journey for us and how that really all fits into the plan. And I think to tie in a little bit at the user level, keeping it simple at the user level, they don't need to really have the understanding of the complexities of the IT aspects. We got to try to help them do their job easier.
And that was interesting. You mentioned the Fiori, that kind of talk about really keeping it simple for
Absolutely.
for the users.
Minimizing that complexity at the user experience level.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you. Paul?
Yeah, for me and my company, it's around, we've just migrated to Suite on HANA and BW on HANA, so now that we're there and things are running smoothly, it's what can we do to go to the next level. So we've gotten to HANA. What's next for us in terms of new analytics, things we hadn't thought of in the past. And then there's, of course, trying to get the backstage passes for the JLO concert.
Right, of course.
So you can work
I
on
will
that
get back
for
to you
us,
on that.
Good.
Keith's got the majority of them, actually. So
Excellent.
if he'll let some go. Gentlemen, thank you for coming. It was great to have you, and I hope you have a great week here in Orlando.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks,
Thank you.
For more ASUG customer stories with board members and CIOs, please go to asugnews.com.